KTRG Television presents Conservatively Speaking with your moderator, Chuck Brooks.
Good evening. Our guest tonight is Mrs. Phyllis Schlafly. Mrs. Schlafly is a Phi Beta Kappa with a master's degree in political science from Radcliffe College. She is the author of the book A Choice, Not an Echo, and the co-author, along with Rear Admiral Chester Ward, of The Gravediggers and Strike from Space. Mrs. Schlafly was voted in 1964 the award of the St. Louis Globe Democrat, Woman of Outstanding Achievement in Public Affairs. She is also the mother of 6 and an expert on the foreign policy, national defense, national strategy, and the question of disarmament in the United States. Mrs. Schlafly, if I may begin by asking you this question. In 1945, at the end of the Second World War, the United States had a position of unrivaled supremacy in the world. We had perfected the atomic bomb. We had developed a great many weapon systems. We had a highly developed economy, and we were respected by our enemies, loved by our friends, admired by the emerging people of the world at that time. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, was seriously bloodied by the Second World War, had perfected no new weapon systems, had even had difficulty in subduing tiny Finland in the Second World War. And yet today, the United States and the Soviet Union, vis-a-vis one another, seem to be reversing their roles. The Soviet Union seems to be more of a powerful country than the United States, at least as far as defense is concerned. How do you account for this transformation?
Well, Chuck, you put your finger on exactly the problem which we face today. In World War II, our country was able to beat 2 of the great military powers of the world, Germany and Japan, fighting on 2 fronts. And today, here we are engaged in a little war in Vietnam, fighting not a second-rate power, not a third-rate power, but a 30th-rate power. 1/2 of a poor little underdeveloped, unindustrialized country. The war goes on and on, month after month. We put more and more men in. We increase our numbers every month. And the best that Secretary McNamara can say is that we are no longer losing. How did it happen that we are in this position? And why is it that we can't bring the war to a speedy conclusion and save the lives of all those Americans?